So we have to acknowledge there are differences amongst the races. Aren't there? I mean, if my white pastors started shouting like some black pastors do, they would probably arrest him and put him in jail or put him in the loony bin. But how do you get a pass? You can just shout, shout, shout. I'm not allowed to shout. I learned a long time ago. I'm not allowed to shout. I should just be quiet. But I don't want to shout. It's not good for your blood pressure to get overly upset, is it? How can I do a message that really will reach people without offending them? See, I'm walking a fine line. How would you characterize the white person? Like, if you're going to be critical of the white person, or would you be praising the white person? Well, white people are very law-abiding, and white people don't commit most violent crimes. White people are able to run corporations, and white people can be mathematicians. Well, non-white people can be mathematicians. A lot of white people can be drug addicts. A lot of white people can be Satanists. I think most of the Satanists in the world are probably white people, but I don't know. So there's just this coldness about white people, and I'm trying to adapt to that, I guess. My mother and my dad were different. Supposedly, they're both white people, but my mother loved music. She loved to dance. She'd be like maybe a person from Puerto Rico or something, and my dad was stationed in Puerto Rico in the military, and so he's attracted to this person that's totally, well, very different from his own mother. It just dances, and he would just make fun of her. She'd put on an 8-track cassette tape or a record. It's not an 8-track cassette, I'm sorry. There's a difference between an 8-track and a cassette. She'd put on an 8-track tape or a cassette, and she just started boogieing. I felt like I inherited this. I may not be able to learn dance moves, but the music, I just want to move, like when I hear that, just like, that's something hereditary within me. When I hear the music, I just want to be like that. Never mind. I can't pretend I'm black. You're not black. You're not a gypsy. I don't know what I am. Really don't know what I am. Oh, okay. The cat gave me permission to say this. So we have this litter of kittens. We weren't expecting to have a litter of kittens, but we got a litter of kittens. And their behavior can be very different based on their genetics, although they look very similar. One kitten is almost a clone of her mother. She adopts the mannerisms of her mother. She hangs out with her mother. She's just like, I want to be you so much. I love you. And it's just really sweet. And then we have the tomcat, who's of course very friendly, and we've got him scheduled for surgery. Don't worry about that. We have this other cat that's just super duper friendly, and she's just like the nicest little, sweetest little cat. And they're all very sweet. But you have one cat that has long fur, and it has a bad habit, and all I can say is, no matter how many times you change the litter box, this cat has long fur. It insists on pooping on the couch. I know it's disgusting. Like, why are you pooping on the couch? I am getting cat fatigue here. I don't know how many times I've washed and I've changed and I've sprayed, natural substances that are supposed to discourage a cat from pooping on the couch, but it's just duh. Kind of reminds me of that poor lady that isn't with us anymore, the lady who really loved foxes. And she says, this is what foxes are like. They'll just dig into your couch and they poop everywhere. I'm not saying this cat is part fox, but I'm saying something makes these cats act different. I guess we must acknowledge that as members of the human race. We're different, but we need each other. We're one, and yet we're different. I don't know if you listen to Through the Bible with Les Feldick, but he has his, I suppose, in a way you feel like he has limited knowledge, but he has his theories. It's just, he's saying the descendants of Ham actually started building things. They started building the Tower of Babel and everything like that, the Hamites. And then the Shemites, which we know as the Shemites today, are of the Asian and Middle Eastern orientation. And then we have the barbarian white people. You know, my dad would definitely say, yeah, go Wagner. Oh, Odin. Yeah. Why do we romanticize these pagan cultures? They sacrificed people in the woods to Odin. And why would you want to romanticize, like, well, indigenous cultures are, well, if it's a white indigenous culture, well, white people will embrace it too, believe me. Watch out for indigenous. Watch out for that. Watch out for that mentality. Do you know where syphilis came from? It came from the New World. Oh yeah, we brought smallpox, but they gave us syphilis. Did you know? We are all supposed to be working together. And the Bible says, God is not a respecter of persons, not purses, I'm sorry. He rewards those who do right. The Bible tells us don't be snobbish or high-minded. I think the snobbiest people really are white people. It just seems to me, I could be wrong. I don't know if I have any more to say. Maybe I've said enough. They just like a smooth criminal, you know, just like, I'm just a mean SOB, and I can run a corporation. You know, it's just like, I get away with everything. I don't know, that's why Les Feldick called you Japheth. Like, that's supposed to be the white people. He enlarged their territory. I don't really consider myself a particular race, because it seems like there are those certain people who are like, well, you know, you're neither here nor there. I think there was a Cher song, but both of my parents supposedly were white, but I haven't had the white experience in society. I haven't. I think white people are privileged. And then a lot of people go out of their way to make up for that, but a lot of these white liberals are actually perpetuating unfairness because they have this shame or guilt, or actually maybe it's a fear of what happened in Zimbabwe, what happened in South Africa. It's a fear, well, that could happen to me if I don't, you know? That's all she wrote.